This is our place, come on in. Our place, so glad you're here. Our place, everybody's welcome. We see God on every face. Love lives here in this place. Welcome to our place, our sweet place.
Reeling from the shooting at King Soopers last Monday. These are natural feelings. We are supposed to feel this. And sometimes there's a tendency to want to go into healing or solving and one of the things I've been recommending to everybody is just feel your feelings this week. That's all we're supposed to do. We have an altar here that is set up. So there are 10 candles here in honor of everyone who was shot and killed on Monday. And then also this bouquet is made up of 10 roses, or excuse me, 10 different flowers in honor of the individualized expressions of each person. So I want to light this candle as a symbol of the eternal divinity, the God candle, if you will, that is at the center of our being and all beings, all beings. And we'll put that in the center of. I love our God candles that we've lit. I want to share with you that I have received, I can't tell you how many texts, calls, letters, emails from all over the country, people expressing their concerns for us, their love for us, their 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 connection with us. And I want to read to you a letter that we received from Reverend Patty Williams. And Patty, I think you're here. I think you're here. But she sent me this last night and I wanted to read it to you. And I will make sure this gets on our newsletter and our website. To our brothers and see if I can do this without. To our brothers and sisters at Center for Spiritual Living, Boulder Valley. Our hearts go out to each of you as you journey through the shadow of such senseless violence and death. While we may be 1,200 miles away, heart to heart, we are as close as we can possibly be. We cannot imagine what you're going through. We do know that as humans, we have hearts that feel, which also means they break. In that breaking, may you be open to allowing the light, the power of love, shine through the anger and grief. We truly know that a divine presence carries you and your dear ones forward, providing peace and strength that surpasses all understanding. Together, we can strengthen our unbreakable bonds. We can take action and rebuild our community. Our deepest desire is for a world of unlimited peace, love, and joy. We believe that any act of violence that targets even one person targets all of us. Know that we are here and we belong to each other. We are praying with and for you, lovingly, your spiritual family at the Unity of Salem in Salem, Oregon. Isn't that beautiful? So, violence. Let's just face this head on, and let's look at what we can do as a community and as individuals. Violence literally means, it's a 13th century word. It's been around for a long time. And it literally means a behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone or something. All the major religions, all of them, say that killing another human being without a reason is the greatest of violent acts. So let's wipe some of our tears. I can see them on your face. And they're beautiful tears. I always say that tears are drops of holy water. America has the highest rate of mass shootings in the world. 10 people walked into the grocery store Monday, never to return home. 7 children lost their dad in the line of duty. So the impact will be felt for generations. The world is riveted, and those who live in the state of Colorado, and especially this area, Boulder Valley and Boulder especially, have hearts that are hurting, minds that are angry, opinions that are flying. And once again, everyone is asking why. But I have come to believe that why is not the question to ask, because why will always lead us to a because. There are 2 truths about violence that I know to be true. The first one is violence is multidimensional. There's not just one reason. And secondly, the second truth is we can't turn our backs on it. So in navigating through the acts of violence, we are asked to keep our hearts and our minds open, our compassion large, and our intellect active, asking, how can we individually and as a community make changes that transform violence into peace? There is a beautiful word. I love this word. It comes from Sanskrit, which is the oldest language on the planet. And the word is ahimsa. And ahimsa literally means to do no harm, literally the avoidance of violence. The question to ask is, what can I do to create ahimsa in my life, in my community, in the world at large? And I believe there are 7 transformative things that you and I can do daily. And not only can we do it, we are asked to do it daily. The first one is to understand that violence is multidimensional. A mixture of factors are known to contribute to violence, including destructive parenting, genetic and temperamental vulnerability, mood disorders, medical mimickers, dual disorders, as well as effects of trauma, abuse and neglect, brain injury, substance abuse, peer pressure, political control, media overload, and bullying. Through our compassionate heart, we can understand that anyone who is violent towards another is mentally ill. And I just want to state that I personally believe that America has an opportunity here to focus on mental illness like never before. It is a serious problem in our country, and it's time. The second thing we can do is come together with like-minded people and share your feelings, express your emotions, and talk about your fears, your angers, pray together, pray alone, meditate, be silent, plant trees, draw upon your spiritual tribe. And that's why we are here. The reason we exist is to go through really rough and tough times together and also celebrate each other's successes and successes as a community. Your spiritual tribe is here to hold you up and give you an opportunity to be there for others. Number 3, contact your local politicians if you would like to see the laws changed around gun respect. Number 4, study universal spiritual values such as oneness, respect for all living beings, and compassion. His High Holiness, the Dalai Lama, campaigns not only for an end of violence, that's one of his core messages to the world, but he believes, and I am beginning to agree with him. I mean, who am I to disagree with him anyway? But he believes that the way to solve violence is through working with the youth, working with the young people. He wrote, "Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity will not survive." So we are called to take classes on spirituality, meditation, mental equivalence, universal laws of oneness. We have a class starting in April. I cannot recommend it enough. Our very own lead practitioner, Kelly, is going to do it on spiritual practices. It's so important to learn. And number 5, I think number 5, I think it's the hardest of all, because we are bravely and courageously asked to look at in our own lives where we are not experiencing ahimsa. Where might we be a voice of shame and violence within ourselves, for ourselves, against ourselves, or for others? Is there a behavior that you really want to change that just no longer serves you? And when you change that, you will experience more peace and more joy and more ahimsa. Number 6, ask yourself, is there something that I can do to assist humanity in transforming violence into ahimsa? So the Center for Spiritual Living is a tithing community. And this month, we will be tithing half of the income to the Center for Spiritual Living home office from the campaign, from the capital campaign. And most of it, the other half, will go to the Urban Peak organization, and they help the kids get off the streets. I've had the privilege of doing some work there, and oh my God, these kids are amazing beings on the planet. And we're also going to tithe money to an organization, and maybe some of you can help me find one. We're going to make sure that 10 trees are planted in honor of the 10 people who lost their lives on Monday. Number 7, embrace the mystery. The truth is, both from the physical world and the spiritual world, we will never know all the answers. And to trust the mystery and to trust and know what we are, that we will never have all the answers. And it's not ours to do. Ours is to do what we can do to create ahimsa in our lives. And there's great relief in that. I mean, I am not a politician. I am not a policeman. I am not all those things that so many people do, thank God. But I do what I do, and you do what you do. So let's do what we do well as individuals and together, and let go of trying to understand it all. So violence, oh my gosh, what a difficult and challenging subject to talk about. So here's what I know personally about the subject. Violence can never be solved, and it can never be healed at the level of violence. Violence can never be healed or solved at the level of violence. So please take care of yourself. Reach out to us. We have practitioners. I'm here. The board is here to love and support you on every level. Take care of yourself. Cry, laugh, giggle. Boulder is known to be pretty woo-woo. Go drum, go do whatever you need to do to bless this wonderful community of ours. And most importantly, be tender to the one in the mirror. So let's just take a moment and go into prayer, and then we're going to end with silence. In remembering that there is a place within each of us that is so calm and so peaceful, quiescent, quiet, silent, a place of pure love and understanding. So let us go to that place within us. Let us, for just a moment together, turn inward, knowing that the outer world is an expression of its own. And right now, we have the privilege and the honor of going within each of us. We know that we are called here to be individualized expressions of ahimsa. We are to do our share in making sure that we are centered in the divine. We remember who we are, no matter what is happening in the outer world. And let us give thanks for this privilege of being the vehicles through which planet Earth can evolve into a place of peace. It already is so beautiful. So let's just all imagine that we're holding hands and we are circling the King Supers on Table Mesa. Let us send a blessing to all of the King Supers family, culture, company. So many of you have shopped there or do shop there. Let us bless every single customer that has ever walked into that building. And let us bless the events that happened at around 2:30 on Monday afternoon. Let us each send golden, white, and teal light from our hearts into that building and into the hearts of the people who lost their lives, and into those that did not lose their lives, but witnessed and were a part of. And let us bless all of the families, the parents, the children, the siblings, the friends, and the family of the people who lost their lives. Let us give thanks to the extraordinary amount of action that took place from the police and the FBI and the on and on and on and on. Let us give thanks for the immediate response. And if you possibly can, let us send a golden thread to the young man that is indeed mentally ill and did this horrific act of violence. And if you can't, that's okay too. And so we bless all the people that were a part of this act of violence. We bless Boulder Valley. We bless Colorado. We bless the United States, and we bless the entire world. We know that peace and joy are possible. And so we give thanks that we are each individualized expressions of the one. And we give thanks for the Center for Spiritual Living, Boulder Valley. And together we say, and so it is.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun. Well, God is the sun. God, so much more than just the earth and the stars and all of creation. God is creator, all and all. And God needs us to shine its light as me, as you use me. Oh God, I stand for you. Here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Command my hands, tell me what must they do. Command my life, it's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new. And God needs us to shine its light as me, as you use me. Oh God, I stand for you, you know I do. Here I'll abide as you show me all that I can do. Show me all that I must do. Show me, God, I'm talking to you. Show me all that I must do.
And to follow our path of prayer, for we are founded on prayer. Here's some words from our founder, Ernest Holmes, Dr. Ernest Holmes, on prayer. Through the art of affirmative prayer, the limitless resources of the Spirit are at my command. The power of the infinite is at my disposal. When prayer removes distrust and doubt and enters the field of mental certainty, it becomes faith, and the universe is built on faith. Seek to make your work a prayer, your believing an act, your living an art. It is then that the object of your faith will be made visible to you. It is then that you shall kiss the lips of your desire. And I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and just listen into this affirmation and breathe it in, and then we'll sit for a moment in silence after. I honor all of life and all who have come to experience life on this planet, including my own. I honor all of life and all who have come to experience life on this planet, including my own. And so it is.
So it is. I'll lay Alleluia. 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 We are one now. 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 So we sing Alleluia. 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 Alleluia.
Thank you, dear Karen and Lara. I chose our speaker today specifically for Palm Sunday. I can't think of a better person to be here to talk about this. And so we are entering into what the traditional Christians call Holy Week. From our perspective, we believe that every week is Holy Week, and every day and every hour and every minute and every breath. This is a very, very special week. And so I asked Reverend Dr. David Goldberg to speak with us today. He is a presence of love. I think he has spoken here when you all had a building. And so many of you know him. He truly is a presence of a sage. I've seen him in really difficult situations, and he's like centered in the divine. And I thought he would be perfect as we embark on this week of holiness. And so please join me in welcoming Reverend Dr. David Goldberg.
Morning, beloved Center for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley community. It's a joy to be with you. Thank you, Reverend Jody. Thank you, Karen, for the beautiful music. Thank you, everyone who works so hard to bring this service to the world. Thank you for sharing your light. When Reverend Jody reached out and said, we'd like to have you speak with us, and it's the last Sunday in March, it also happens to be Palm Sunday. So I love that. I'm so honored to be with you, and it is my great joy to share a few thoughts and ideas about Palm Sunday and what that looks like and how we can put that into direct application in our lives right now. You know, that's one of the many things I so appreciate about our New Thought teachings is that we can think about it, we can feel it, we can pray about it, we can meditate, and we also put it into direct applications into our lives. You know, I love Ernest Holmes, and one of his many thoughts that resonates with me is, I would much rather have one person living the principles than have 10,000 who know them at an intellectual level. So this day, my friends, let us think, let us interact, and let us take action. So as we come together on this Palm Sunday, on this beginning of Holy Week in the Christian tradition, I thought it might be helpful just to underscore the significance of the day, the significance of the week, and how it leads us into Holy Week and indeed Easter next weekend. You know, many of us don't remember or perhaps didn't know that Jesus was only 33 years old when he was crucified. So he didn't have a great long time in human form, although, as we all know, he made a tremendous impact on the world. And the story of Palm Sunday and Holy Week is a beautiful metaphor for what is happening in our lives right now. So, as we think about Palm Sunday then, and the title that I shared with Reverend Jody and your team is, recognizing excellence, hailing exalted leaders, and it's not just all praise, as we have come to know, whether we pay any attention to anything that's happening in our civic life, or any of us who have had any position in leadership, spiritual leadership or otherwise, we know that along with the praise comes the shadow side, comes the issues that need to be resolved for us, as well as for those organizations that we may be leading. So let us dive in then. Let us take a look at that. I did want to share with you from the book of Luke, the particular telling of the story of Palm Sunday, because there are so many things, so many elements. It is so rich, so many things for us to explore. I just want to set the context, if you will. So as we look at the book of Luke, we see or we read that Jesus said he went on ahead going up to Jerusalem. As he approached the hill called the Mount of Olives, he sent two of his disciples, saying to them, "Go to the village ahead of you, and as you enter it, you will find a colt there tied to a tree that no one has ever ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone asks you, 'Why are you untying it?' tell them the Lord needs it." Those who were sent ahead went and found it just as he had told them. As they were untying the colt, its owners did indeed ask them, "Why are you untying the colt?" And they replied, "Because the Lord needs it." They brought it to Jesus. They threw their cloaks on the colt and put Jesus on it. As he went along, people spread their cloaks on the road. When he came near the place where the road goes down to the Mount of Olives, the whole crowd of disciples began joyfully to praise God in loud voices for all the miracles they had seen. Blessed is the King who comes in the name of the Lord. Peace in heaven and glory in the highest. Some of the Pharisees in the crowd said to Jesus, "Teacher, rebuke your disciples." "I tell you," he replied, "if they keep quiet, the stones will cry out." As he approached Jerusalem and saw the city, he wept over it and said, "If you, even you, had only known on this day what would bring you peace, but now it is hidden from your eyes." So you see, that is the opening that we're pursuing. This is Jesus' return to Jerusalem, and he's using a donkey, which we'll get into in just a bit. And there are cheers welcoming him, although of course he knows that he is returning to his physical death, to his human death. And yet that is not why he cries. He cries because the people do not see who he is and what the message is for them. So already we have the cheers and we have the tears that come with leadership. On that day, there was a joyful parade as Jesus entered the city. Then he stopped and wept. So let's take a look at those two different aspects then. Let's look at the cheers. You know, everybody loves a parade, whether it's the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, or the Rose Bowl Parade, or the Broomfield Days, or the Lafayette Days Parade. There's something to be said for coming together in community to celebrate joy, with bands, with floats, with people, with animals. It is good. It is very good to come together and celebrate. And hopefully, post-pandemic, we'll all be getting back into those practices and those rituals of joy very soon. And you know, when Jesus entered Jerusalem, it was during the time of Passover. So the population of Jerusalem had swollen from 30,000 to almost 200,000 people, which is a big crowd today, not to mention in those days. And also, contextually, when a conquering king or a battle-tested soldier or officer returned as a conquering hero, it was often that this person, almost always a male, if not always a male in those days, that this person rode in on a brilliant stallion that had been cleaned and was beautiful and as high-ranking as the person who was riding it, if you will. And you see, when Jesus chose to ride in on a donkey, he was making a statement that he was not a conquering king, that he was not a revolutionary, but rather he was a redeemer. A revolutionary is willing to kill others for his cause, and a revolutionary is willing to kill others for his cause. A redeemer is willing to die himself for his cause. So let's look at then those couple of personal lessons from so many that we can pull from that lesson. Perhaps you are in the space of thinking, well, I'm certainly no spiritual stallion. I am a donkey at best. Hopefully, for those who are in our New Thought traditions, we've been able to shift some of that negative self-talk. And if you find yourself having those expressions, sharing that information with yourself on this day, I invite you into a different way of thinking. You are exactly who we need right now. You are the one that we've been waiting for. So whatever your tool, whatever you do, whatever your activity, whatever your beingness, we need your energy on the planet, you see. So when you sit in prayer, when you are quiet on your meditation pillow, when you are taking part in marches, when you are writing letters, when you are stepping into the voting booth or filling out your mail-in ballot, that is what is yours to do. That is you riding on that spiritual stallion. That is you partnering with the divine to step into your full expression, you see. And as Jesus showed us in the story of Palm Sunday, when we do that, there will be those who are in opposition to what we are doing. There are those who will be saying, you need to be quiet. That issue isn't important. We can't do that now. We did that before. Everyone will come up with excuses and reasons for you not being able to step into your greater yet to be. So that is what you get to know as you co-create your life with the divine. You know, I was in my beautiful home church several years ago, just there, and we were enjoying a beautiful service, and the lights came up at the end of service, and the music was excellent, and we were walking up, and a person unknown to me came up and tapped me on the shoulder. And she said, David Goldberg? And I said, yes. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. And she introduced herself and she said, I just wanted to tell you that your light is so bright. Even when the lights were turned out in the sanctuary, I couldn't focus on the minister. I couldn't focus on the message. I almost came up to you and asked you to turn down your light because it was so distracting. I was a bit caught off guard, again, especially being in a New Thought community, and I wasn't sure what to say. I just said, oh, okay, thank you, and kind of walked away. And when something knocks on my door like that, I try to learn what is mine to learn. So I took it to meditation, I sat with it in prayer, and I was just with it. And what I came to, what I offer you this day, beloved, is perhaps I would have responded as kindly as I can. Thank you so much. I am grateful that you recognize and honor my light. And rather than my dimming my light, I invite you to raise your light. And you see, that's not from a place of ego, and that's not from a place of narcissism. That is from a place of, if your light is under a bushel, you've lost something kind of crucial, to quote the song from Godspell. So when your light is shining brightly, never turn it down, never dim it, never put it under a bushel to make somebody else feel more comfortable. That is not yours to do. Yours is to continue to vibrate at a high level. Yours is to continue to attract like-minded beings who want some of what you have and what you're offering. So you, my friend, are a spiritual stallion doing what is yours to do in creation with the divine. And speaking of what is yours to do, everybody will have an opinion for you. Oh, do this. Oh, don't do that. Oh, you should do this. Oh, you're so good at that. Oh, that we're not using that anymore. You see, everybody has thoughts and ideas, and that's as it should be. And what you get to know is your own clarity. You are doing right now exactly what you are supposed to be doing. If you want to do something different tomorrow, if you want a different kind of perfection, if you're calling in something dramatically different or just something particularly nuanced and a slight change, you get to stand in the truth of what is yours to do. Because you see, the one power, the one presence that created you, that continues to dwell in you and express as you, is always there. You plus God is a majority. You are co-creating the perfect life of your existence. So, perhaps listen to the noise, perhaps not. But guess what? On this day, on this beautiful Palm Sunday, as we honor the cheers and the tears and the jeers and everything that comes with leadership and everything that comes with being a human on this planet, you don't get to say, I don't know anymore. Because you have access to the wisdom of the universe. You are the divine in expression. So you see, every time you say, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, that's the universe has to respond, right? Because the universe is an objective medium. Whatever you plant, you will receive. So if you keep saying, I don't know, you will continue not to know. And what I know is that the truth of you is you do know. You have an extraordinary knowingness. So let's tweak our languaging just a bit around that. You can say, I don't know in this moment. You can be with it. You can think about it. You can process it. But you don't get to say, I don't know anymore. Because you are that perfect child in whom God is well pleased, and you have access to the wisdom and knowledge of the universe. Spoiler alert, you don't need me, you don't need Reverend Jody, you don't need anybody. You've got a direct connection with your own unique interpretation of the divine. It is our great joy and honor to be with you and support you on your path, and you know. So let me close with a true story. It was more than a century ago, and two Europeans were in a small boat, a small fishing boat in Inverness in Scotland. And they were floating through the marshes and maybe saw Nessie. I'm not sure. That's not a part of the story. but it was getting late. And so they brought their boat in and they started walking around. And as sometimes happens in the wilderness, they lost their bearings. So these were two men, and they were walking around looking for a place to stay for the evening. And they knocked on a villager's door and said, might you have room for 2 people and perhaps something to eat? And of course, we will pay you. And the gentleman kind of looked at these 2 travelers and wasn't really sold and said, nope, and closed the door. So they went on to the next house, and this man opened the door widely and fed them and gave them a comfortable place to sleep and wouldn't take any money. In our terminology today, perhaps he was paying it forward. And come to find out, the next day over breakfast, one of the 2 gentlemen was Edward, Prince of Wales, who would go on to become King Edward V. So the moral of the story, my friends, is sometimes even leaders need to stop and ask for directions. And despite our best intentions, our clear energy, our clean knowing, sometimes we may be misunderstood. And we get to bless it, right? We get to bless the people that we're working with in all of those opportunities, whether they offer us cheers, whether they offer us jeers, or whether they offer us tears. Bless you on this beautiful day, on the extraordinary beginning of Holy Week, and as we know in New Thought, every week is Holy Week. Every day is an opportunity for us to resurrect ourselves, to move away the stone, whatever the stone is in our lives, and to step into our greater yet to be in service to humankind, the greater good and the divine. Blessings on this day. Please join me in prayer. How good it is to be together in beloved community. How good it is to see the lights of each and every one of these humans as we gather on this day in this beautiful and unique form. How good it is to reference the great teacher that was and is Jesus. How good it is to dive into the Bible, whether we know it well, whether we are unfamiliar. It is beautiful. It is amazing. It is stories of guidance and language and words and tone that have so much to offer us in this time, in this place. And so I bless each and every being within the sound of my voice. I bless the beloved spiritual community that is Center for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley. For I know that this is a powerful ministry doing important work, taking the message of love, taking the message of oneness, taking the message of community and connection to the world. So I bless Reverend Jody and the whole team that is putting together this brilliant effort. I love you, I bless you, I honor you. For those of you who continue to support Center for Spiritual Living Boulder Valley, you are extraordinary. For those of you who may be new to this beautiful community, please continue to avail yourself of beautiful Reverend Jody, of the powerful music team, of the extraordinary connection to the divine that is offered to so many. So it is from this place of deep thanksgiving and tremendous knowing that I release, I let go, I allow it to be. I know that all is well. God is magnificent. Thank you, Spirit. And so it is.
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can you hear that pitter-pat? This happy tune is your step. sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade. But now I'm not afraid. This rover has crossed on over. If I never have a cent, I'd be as rich as Rockefeller, with gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade, but now I'm not afraid. This rover has crossed on over. If I never have a cent, I'd be as rich as Rockefeller, with the gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. Sunny side of the street. We all love the sunny side. Sunny, sunny, sunny side. Sunny side of the street. I love that song.
Well, thank you, Reverend David, so much. And Karen, we all need an uplifting song right now. And I want to, this is not an excuse, but I've been like a horse with blinders on. Is that what they're called, Kathy? This week, so focused on Boulder. But the truth is, last week, 8 people were killed in Atlanta. And Elaine, thank you so much for reminding us. This week, I will add 8 more candles here and 8 more flowers. So next week on Easter, we will be praying for everybody. And, anyone who has been shot and killed in violence, I think it would be a pretty big bouquet right here, but I'll add a flower in for all of them. But thank you, Elaine, for reminding me that. Now is our time for our offering. So just as a reminder, the Center for Spiritual Being Boulder Valley is a spiritual community. I mean, that's why we exist. And a way of life that honors all pathways to God and helps people to discover the phenomenal relationship with the divine. It is the great, in my meditation the other day, I woke up and I wrote down, I have a journal of gratitudes. I am so grateful for my relationship with the divine and for all of you. When the divine is the focus of our spirituality, then all the areas in our life fall into place. We're happier, we do more for others, we're better stewards of the earth, we experience greater peace, prosperity, harmony. Life is good. And even during the rough and tough times, life is good. So if you would, please take your gifts in hand, either put them to your heart energetically, or if you have a check, please repeat with me. This perfect gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all that it touches, and freely I give and joyously I receive. And so I give thanks, and so it is. So a couple of announcements. Be sure and check our newsletter to see what's going on this week. I just have a couple. Next week is Easter. We're going to have a live service, mostly, at least the word part. The song will be recorded, but as you know, it's so great. And mostly it will be music next week. I'm going to do everything I can to keep me short, so we can have more music. Karen's so happy about that. But please do join us and bring your family and friends. Wear an Easter hat if that's what you like. But please join us. And then also in April, I think it's the second Monday in April. I'm not sure what the date is. I didn't write it down. We're going to begin a 6-month series on anti-racism, which I am very, very excited about because this all it's such a big part of America right now, and we need to face some things. And I got to tell you, it's humbling. It's really humbling, but it's so delicious to the soul. So check that out. Rachel and Martinez and Dinah Pollard are going to be the facilitators. I have learned so much, so be sure and join us for that. And then Rachel, I've asked you to give an announcement. Rachel has an announcement.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to share with you, if you hadn't noticed, that Boulder Strong, so our Colorado Boulder program has basically asked us, starting yesterday, but we can start tonight. On the first night, step outside to take 10 slow, deep breaths, followed by 10 minutes of silence for those who have died. And each breath and each minute is in honor of the lives lost in the tragic shooting. We invite you to continue this practice as you are able to put out a light in your home and burning each night through April 5th. So just encourage everyone to do that. So it's beautiful. So just take 10 slow, deep breaths and 10 minutes of silence, and have a burning candle to remember those that have died.
Thank you, sweetie. So we are here for you. This is why we exist. Call us, let us know how we can love and support you. And Laura, you want to tell us about prayers and practitioners?
Yes, I just wanted to remind you that this community is supported by a prayer team of practitioners, and we would love to pray with you, for you. You can find our contact information on the website, cslbouldervalley.org/prayer. You could just email if you don't want to reach out to somebody, and we will receive that as well. There's a form. I will be available after the service if somebody wants to go into a breakout room for prayer today. So please reach out. We're here for you.
Thank you, sweetie. So again, people from all over the world, but especially all over the country, especially in New Thought, our communities are praying for us and reaching out to us. Anything you need, let us know. And we're actually going to end differently today. Karen, you want to tell us all about the beautiful song you're going to sing? Whoops.
Yes.
Wait. Sorry, Kathy, I forgot.
Oh, and this was your idea.
I know. I'm sorry.
Woo. Jody asked me to talk about our mountain. So if everybody can reach and find their mountain that they have.
Capital campaign.
We are going to add to it. Yeah, are you going to show yours instead of me showing mine?
No, I'm just showing it.
Yeah. So I have used red because it's so easy to see. But we have, as of right now, in our capital campaign money market, $13,764.95.
Oh my gosh.
Yay, huh?
Isn't that awesome?
And we have at least one more $1,000 in PayPal. They only release the PayPal money at the end of each month, so we can't really technically count it yet. But they also don't charge us anything because of being a nonprofit. So anybody who wants to give through PayPal, we get the whole amount, and we do with checks too. So however you would like to give. But I have mine going up the mountain. I mean, we're really close to, we're more than halfway there. We have, we have what, about 12,000 left. So this is really good.
So let's go over 15 this week. Yeah.
What?
Let's all know we go over 15 this week. And I want you to know that we're starting the process of designing the online ministry. Kelly and I have been working on it. We're talking about, we're moving into branding now. It's really exciting. So I will be putting out within this week or next week a mind map of the qualities that we want in our ministry. And I ask us all to pray on that. So if you have any questions, let us know, either Kelly or me and Kathy.
I have a
Kathy,
tiny
wants to-
question.
Yes,
Did you say we were going to tithe from the capital campaign?
yes.
And what quantity again?
I'm sorry,
And how much again?
10%.
10%.
Okay.
Yeah, tithe means 10. And we're also going to be tithing from the
Tithing from our regular tithing.
from our
Regular
regular
church.
account.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll
yeah.
be doing both. Yeah.
So we have, as we, the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've been getting letters from people, and I wanted to read one that came in this week. I might be able to read one each week, but this one says, "Dear Jody, I am a good friend of Karen's who had your packet sent to me. I am really enjoying it. I love your book. I was a charter member of your church, so have always felt a connection. I was also a practitioner at the Boulder Church. I'm on staff at Columbine Unity and have been a member there for many years. Enclosed is a small contribution. Blessings." So I wanted to just point out, it's really nice. We are getting contributions from people all over the country who really believe in what we're doing, believe in getting this message of science of mind out to the world. So thank you, everybody. This is very exciting.
Thank you. Let's give ourselves a hand for welcoming this money. Yay. And getting this ministry going. Any other announcements that I may have completely forgotten? Okay.
Okay.
Karen, talk to us and sing to us.
So thank you, Jody. I just want to say, because we're ending a little differently, I loved and adored what everybody had to say today. It made such an impact and was such a comfort. You all know that I adore and love David Goldberg. He is very special to me. And Jody, what you did today was outstanding. And Laura, everything that you do is just beautiful as well. Everybody, Kathy, everybody, Catherine, thank you so much. We're going to close today with my tune called Let an Angel, which in this context, to me, is sending out comfort, not only to those people who have passed, transition, they really will be part of the major light from the song, but also every spirit that is being touched and impacted by the whole gambit of what has happened, what violence perpetrates, the comfort that we all need. So many of us have been very much a part of the King Soopers family for years and years and years. So I send this to everybody. I give it to you because I adore this community so much. And I hold you all in the light. And this is the tune, Let an Angel. God bless you all. And so it is.
Let an angel ride on your shoulder and be wherever you are. When the world seems a little bit colder, see a shining star, and if sadness should come to your doorstep, let the clouds simply drift away with an angel there on your shoulder. You will be blessed every day. I believe love is the key, and counting your blessings every day. Love will give us wings to fly, and an angel a special place to ride, to ride. Let an angel ride on your shoulder and be wherever you go, with an angel there on your shoulder. Then you will be blessed, I know. With an angel there on your shoulder, then you will be blessed every day. Every day. Every day.
Original music written and performed by Karen Karsh. Copyright held by Karen Karsh Crystal Music. All rights reserved.
Love lives here!